to do what they did, it just shows that they're not really good at doing with their job. Period.
Right.
And
Can we start on Dollar Tree soon?
Huh?
Can we start on Dollar Tree and Dollar General, where the employees get shot all the time, and when they shoot back, then they horrible things happen. So yeah, the entire retail world is skewed, and the way to get to reform it is not to make Bezos even richer after he's got his new yacht.
Okay, that was.
1 out of 3 new stores are Dollar Trees that are open.
Yeah,
1 out of 3.
And they're in the food deserts, and they got canned goods and whatnot. If they don't do the fresh, and I can get a Crest $4 toothpaste for $1.
Right.
I could see somebody with 4 kids and a tight budget thinking this is where you get your Christmas presents, kids.
Yeah, I do a joke. I do a joke on stage where I talk about I live in a Dollar Tree neighborhood. I'm looking to date someone from a Dollar General neighborhood because that's $5, right? It's a whole series of yes.
You and your class aspirations.
That's right.
You thought that you'd be stepping down and they'd be strong on you, or you'd be moving up?
I'd be moving up. I wanted to move to the Dollar General world.
All right, let's get back onto. So, are we ready to close the show, or should we do one more topic?
One more.
Just keep it going all night.
One more topic.
This is a men's and transgender group, and it's gotten better thanks to that. So let's do one more and make it a good one.
All right. Well, we're gonna finish it up here. You get the federal charges on Chauvin. The Justice Department has now filed federal criminal charges against Derek Chauvin, accusing the former police officer of using excessive force, violating civil rights, George Floyd. Okay, and then and the 3 other former officers on the scene that day, also Thomas Lane, Alexander, whatever his name is, and Tu Tao, have been charged federally in the connection with Floyd's death.
You just done Asian violence to that guy's name.
I'm sorry, I chopped it up, did I?
I can't say it either.
Because they didn't intervene to provide medical care and deliberate interference to the George Floyd suffering. They're already preparing for the state trial in August. So Chauvin is also forced to face a separate federal indictment related to the 2017 incident where he allegedly used neck restraint, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm glad.
So we may find out the results before they count the election votes in Arizona.
Repeat that.
We may know what happens to these guys before we find out who won the election in Arizona with the phony recount there.
We may.
The Republicans sent it to. I digress.
So by the federal indictment here, does that mean that they're coming in and then there's not? What does that mean exactly, you guys? Is it going to
go on trial?
Closed case, federal charges? They're all going down. Boom, boom, boom.
Vlad, is it similar in Canada? Are you familiar with the system here?
Well, I mean, we have a very similar system in Canada as far as the U.S. goes. The delays might be different, but it's about the same here.
So as an attorney, what do you feel like when the federal government has to intervene and charge them federally?
Well, I mean, the congressman must have received some letters. And I mean, this probably, or some money changed hands behind the scenes, or somebody needed a favor, or somebody had a favor cashed in. It's politics. So you never know what the real motivation is. Somebody needs to look good, somebody needs to look bad. So you have to look at who benefits. It's like Vladimir Ilyich Lenin said, qui bene, who benefits from this transaction? Who gets the winner card?
Right.
Stalin. Oh, sorry. I thought it was a question.
I know that this was, I studied civil rights extensively. This was a real byproduct of the civil rights years, where because the southern states would not find any of the perpetrators guilty of killing black people, the feds had to step in and make it a hate crime, make it a civil rights violation. That was the only way they could get a guilty verdict on murderers in the South, is because Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, those Georgia, they were not going to, all of those famous deaths we know from the 50s and 60s, no one went to prison for those. No one was found guilty until the Fed stepped in. Yeah. The famous case with Goodman, Schwerner, and Cheney. We know that case because 2 of the people killed were white. And also people went to prison over that because the Fed stepped in. So I think a lot like Vlad is who benefits from this, I'm not sure, but I think that our federal government decided we're going to make an example out of this. And we've already got Chauvin on state charges. Now we're going to get him on Fed charges and make people think twice about this. Whether it works or not, I'm not sure.
The other guys who got to walk. I mean, it's
yes.
You're watching somebody murdered. There's one in there's another. It's a Michigan case, and there's one black guy in the town, and he goes into a bar, and gets tormented. Goes outside, and he's brutalized. The bartender does nothing. Nobody does anything, and they're going like, "It's cool." Right. And the feds are going like, no. In fact, the state's going, no. You know, you gotta license your premises. You got everybody hooched up to murder somebody. You don't get to do it. So you don't get to stand by and watch other people get murdered. Although if they've got guns and you don't, I haven't been in actual. I just had the tax squad and Alameda County sheriffs come down on a bunch of hippies and the tax squad in San Francisco at Union Square doing anti-war stuff. But I was not a party to it. But I think if you're helping people get kicked to death, that sucks. And right. And they've got it on film.
Yes.
That's hello. This is not very subtle.
All right, it says federal civil rights prosecutors from Washington worked hand in hand with the U.S. Attorney's Office in Minnesota to build a case. Such federal charges are rare, in part because it is difficult to meet the high legal bar they require to succeed. To succeed, prosecutors must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Chauvin acted willfully to deprive Floyd of his civil rights and used force that was constitutionally unreasonable. In those cases, officers can argue in their defense that they acted out of fear, panic, or even poor judgment, some of which featured in Chauvin's defense.
Jay, the trial judge is expanding the charges.
We're finally seeing some justice in our country. It's long overdue. I know we're a bunch of white guys on the call here. But or gal and Harley.
You are gonna get sued if you ever really get on the network. You can get so.
I'm going on Twitter right now. I'm writing up. Cancel.
Harley's taking over.
I don't know that
guy. That's the new category.
We're a Harley category. Ignorant. We mean well.
All right. Yes, we do.
We're learning. Well. We're trying.
So
inept as we are.
I just want to say thank you to you guys. Go ahead and everybody. Vlad, do you have anything to say to finish up before we sign off?
All good.
Hey, thank you for being on the call again. And keep
Vlad,
listening.
where are you in Canada?
Keep listening.
Montreal. Okay. The McGuires stopped on the Ottawa River in Quebec, and I always got this little island out there, and then they came over to destroy the rest of the U.S. after that. Slancha, compañeros.
Marvin, thank you so much. Dad, they're going to close out. So everybody wave to the camera, say goodbye, unless you have anything.
Bye.
Dad, if you need a board member, Daddy.
They're great. Check it out. Share this with your friends. Share this on social media. We need more people to watch us. TheGreatInternetDebate.com. Hot topic, hot potato.